we have to go over Bitcoin because, as you guys know, we had a massive liquidation in Bitcoin, bunch of money lost in a matter of hours now. So also look at the fear and greed index for the whole entire market, and then look at all of this. Every single article that you read is going to be about how people are dumping Bitcoin, how institutions are completely liquidating their funds. ETFs are liquidating their funds. Like, they're just literally spreading FUD all over the market. And some of it is true. Some are getting liquidated, but they're taking advantage of this crypto liquidation. They're selling because they know, or they might know that, this could be the last chance for you to buy cheaper. But I don't know. We're gonna see who's right on the other side of this. The people on top are always going to do the opposite as everyone else, right? And just like what Warren Buffett said, be fearful when others are greedy, greedy when others are fearful. The people at the top know this. They watch this type of stuff. Everybody is so fearful right now. Can it drop more? Yes. Me personally, I think it's going to stop at 85K. But first, you have to understand how the fear and greed index is working. The last time we bottomed out in the market and then pumped, we were all the way down here at extreme fear. All right, we are all the way down at extreme fear around March 2025 and April of 2025. That just so happens to be exactly where we bottomed out before we kept going. So if I do this, I just stretch this all the way out here, you can see we bottomed out here. We bottomed out March and April. We did a double bottom, which is actually a bullish pattern here, the bullish double bottom. So as you can see here, we did the double bottom on there. As you can see here, we also have it on this chart as well. And then when you bring it back over here, you can see that it does double, it does go down twice there. So anyways, it bottomed out right there. And that was the last time we had extreme fear. We were in a bear market, well, just now entering the bull market, it was kind of in the middle because, people are really neutral at that point. So I do think we're going to have a breakout. Is there a possibility it can break out now? Yes. Is there a possibility it could continue to go down? Right? Yes, there's always a possibility that anything could go down. But I really want to cover what I'm seeing here. So first off, let's start with every single pump on the way up here, right? We bottomed out inside of the beginning of pretty much 2023, right? At the beginning of 2023, that's when we really started this bull market. The bull market started after this right here rose. This is exactly where the bull market started. And if you scroll in, I'm not going to go to the daily chart because that's just too much, but it was on the week of the 9th of January 2023. On the week of the January 9th, 2023, that is when the bull market started. And then we had this huge candlestick here and it just kept going. And then it would consolidate a little. What did it do? Kept going. What did it do? Consolidate a little bit, kept going. And then this is where the magic started to happen. This is where the bullish structure for what we're going through right now started. So first, we had this right here. So a lot of people have different names for these different patterns, but I'm going to just keep it plain and simple. This is pretty much a bull flag right here. So we're looking at a bull flag. We have a bull flag followed by that 32% drop. And the wicks of the candlesticks, you can see them coming out of here, but ultimately it went through the bull flag. All right. Broke out after that. Boom. So it goes all the way through March 2024, June 2024, September 2024, then coming November 2024. Boom. Breaks out. When does it break out? It breaks out at the beginning of June of 2024, and then boom. Now you're seeing another massive top when it went up to 107K, 108K. And then you see another bullish pattern. Now you're seeing the falling wedge. So then the falling wedge happens, followed by a 32% drop, and it goes through there, right? So now you're seeing two 32% drops here. And then up here, the third one, which we're going through now, we're coming up here, we're breaking out, and then we're kind of consolidating into it on an uptrend, which kind of shows this is the last cycle before the bust. Now, I think that when it hits 85K, it'll come back up and recover, and it'll top out at 150K. at the end of this bearish expanding triangle, I feel like we're going to get back into the bearish expanding triangle, and then we're going to be trading back into this same pattern. And then as we're doing that, I feel like around, the end of February of next year or something, we're going to be completely topped out here at like 158K Bitcoin, 150K, 158K, something like that. So I still think that we could be bearish or bullish still. We have to be extremely, extremely careful. I don't have any positions right now. I actually sold everything right now and I'm all cash. So I noticed that we were breaking this falling wedge and I had to sell everything. So anyways, we are coming down here. We should be dropping down here to 85K. So we'll see what happens. That'll be a 32% drop here. And then I'm hoping that when we do, that's the next 32% drop and we go back in. And there's also one more indicator that can confirm this. Now it's not the MACD. I just want to show you that all the selling pressure here could easily reverse, right? But look, this is the %R trend exhaustion. This is the final piece of the puzzle, because we've seen that we all the time all right, let me just start like this. The white lines here are the short-term trends for the %R trend exhaustion. The blue lines are the long-term trends. Notice how the short-term trend always hits down here and it's about to do it again, right? And it should recover from there. And then notice that the long-term trend always hits here at this middle line, and then it should again, and then it should recover. Notice that the top of the long-term and the short-term, when they both become overbought and overextended to the upside, notice how they hit the top of this line here. So I don't believe that we will have our final top in crypto until we end the end of this, till we do something like this. And then we have our top inside of crypto, and then inside of Bitcoin and crypto in general. And then we come all the way down here, oversell, and then we trade sideways for like a good year and we consolidate for a whole year or something like that. Because that's pretty much what happened before. This is all overselling. This is when we were down for like a whole year, and it was just that, and it was nasty. Like it was a long time. You can see it bottomed out, and then it was just traded sideways that whole time. Not necessarily the whole time, but there was little breakouts on the way up, and then it finally officially broke out. So, but anyways, I think this is gonna be a good thing. I feel like this is going to restart. It's going to hit like a reset button on everything. So I am pretty bullish on Bitcoin in the crypto market if we don't go below 85K. Okay. If we start going below that 85K area, that is when I'm going to start seriously like rethinking everything, because that is not good. And what that will look like is the %R trend exhaustion breaking down here and then continuing down and then becoming oversold, and then, trying to break out from there. So if that something like that happens, like we might not see a breakout until January 2027. So yeah, like all of 2026 is going to be nasty if that happens. So we really want this to bounce and go all the way up and then become overbought again, so we can get to 150K. So then we can just go through the whole year of 2026 downwards. Like we can just take and let 2026 crash and just let it be bearish the whole 2026. And when that happens, that is when we'll get in at the bottom, closer towards the end of 2026 maybe. And then like I would say around November or December of 2026. And then 2027 should be a little bit better, or it should be the start really. It'll be like the restart. But anyways, this is all I got for you guys. Let me know what you guys think about this. This is just the theory that I've been talking about for like the last 6 months, maybe even 8 months inside of Bitcoin. But I decided it's time to bring it back, because I was a little bit optimistic. I was like, okay, maybe we're not going to actually do the 32% drop. But now I'm seeing that we're actually doing the 32% drop. So I had to come back with it. So anyways, this is all I got for you guys today. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Definitely hit the like button and subscribe, guys. Go ahead and become a member of the channel. It's only $9.99 per month. So go ahead and do that, and I'll go over any stock or crypto that you want me to go over, as long as it's not some type of low cap scam coin. All you got to do is become a member of the channel, comment on any one of my videos letting me know what you want me to go over, and I'll go ahead and go over it for you. So shout out to you guys, all that good stuff. And as always, I'll be back with with another video.